because in the future, the companies, if they're hiring someone, even they will ask you how many AI agents you're going to bring with you. Like what kind of what kind of AI do you have? They don't want to just hire someone that can program anything. I think the market is shifting to that direction now. Yeah. So when a new person comes into the company, they can just ask, how can I make a marketing post today? And the AI will already know the answer to that one. And this saves a lot of, even if you have a question, like if you want to know and where can I grab a coffee, in the office, you can ask the AI, and the AI can tell you. You grab it from there, and you can ask.
All right, welcome to the Breaking the Code podcast. I'm your host, Jibril Abshir, a software developer and founder at CodeRise Unlocking Talent. At CodeRise, we believe that talent exists everywhere. It's the opportunity that's unevenly distributed. Our mission is to change that. Through tech events and hackathons, we're building a space where creativity, collaboration, and potential can flourish. Whether you're a beginner or someone who's dabbled in tech, we're here to help you level up. Today, I'm joined by a young entrepreneur, a go-getter, somebody who decided to co-found an IT company here in Gothenburg, Sweden in the last year of his bachelor's degree. An inspiring individual and overall a great guy, Mr. Omar Hussein. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much, man. That was a crazy presentation here.
It has to be done, man. We have to give the flowers, you know?
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
thank you very
man.
much. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
No problem, no problem. Omar will be giving us insight into what it's like in taking the entrepreneurial route as a computer science grad, the pros, the cons, and everything in between. So if you get any value from this or want some more, do make sure to engage with the content. So let's get straight into it. So Omar, you started Rexit in the final year of your bachelor's. Most people, they try to get a job, try to get some kind of experience, internship. What pushed you to take a leap into entrepreneurship?
Okay, and so actually it was while I was doing my final thesis in university when I just started out, and I had an opportunity to. I was thinking a lot about what kind of work I'm going to work in, and is it going to be cybersecurity? Should I focus more on programming? Maybe cloud is a good thing because I had a background in all of these parts. I had opportunity to work on all of those, like in school, and I had some projects and those kind of things. So I was having a pretty hard time deciding on what I'm going to do, and then yeah, but while I was doing the final thesis, I had this opportunity. I met my co-founder and Yasvir. We met on, and I was on some place for it was a tech event that I went to,
Okay.
and he was there, and we had also been connected on LinkedIn a while before that. So we had this opportunity, and we kept connecting more and more. So and he told me about this business idea he has. He had long experience, and he now was thinking about this entrepreneurship. And yeah, that's where I initially got the understanding of how it works being an entrepreneur and how to start business. It was basically through meeting this person. And
Okay.
yeah, I think it's usually like that. That you never know what's going to happen in life. You have a plan, you're going to do this kind of work, but it can always go to other sides.
That's a
Mm.
very good point you make there at the end. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, they might feel like, something is not for me, or I don't have experience in this, or, I wasn't made for this or something. Did you have those feelings that you was made for entrepreneurship or something before, or was it something that you just tried maybe?
No, I didn't really have like this kind of feeling. I used to have like I had some plans for entrepreneurship. I was thinking more further down the future. I was thinking about long term, maybe within 10 years or something like that, and maybe doing some things in Africa as well. And but it was not the plan to start so early, and because it's more riskier to do straight out of university. And yeah, it was just something I had in mind, but it just came like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I understand. Like you said, you started like at a very young age, and you was in university. So how what was that like changing like your mindset from revising, going to lectures, studying, to now you're operating a business? Like how what was the mindset shift like?
Yeah, it was a very big shift there because when it comes to university and when it comes to finding a work at maybe a big company or something like that, and there usually is more of a structure there. You know what you're going to do. Like you come into,
Direction.
if it's university, yeah, if it's university, you have your professor, you have your lecturers, you have everyone, people who can guide you. You have someone you can always go to ask questions, and there's a structure. If you even in corporate situation, there's a ladder. So if you do this thing, maybe if I work hard on this thing, I will do this thing next. And so there's a lot of people, usually they like the stability, they like to know what's going to happen next. I'm also, I'm in between. I'm a kind of person, I like to plan things ahead of time, but I'm also kind of flexible, so I'm able to shift my mindset quite fast and get used to new environments basically. But the biggest shift in mind, I would say, it's the mindset that I have to and think hard and long about that. I don't really need a structure to do good things in life. There doesn't have to be a corporate ladder. There doesn't have to be a professor or someone who's always going to be helping you. And it's the biggest thing I had to do was I had to gain confidence. Confidence was the biggest thing I didn't have back then. So with time, I met with more people. I met with more companies. I was in different environments, and the confidence it just kept getting higher and higher. Yeah,
Yeah, man, I love to hear that. It's interesting because I'm just reading a famous book is Think and Grow Rich. Maybe you've heard of it.
yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
Mm.
that in that book is a lot about belief. It's like, yo, you have to believe that you could do it, kind of thing, and so, which links well with your confidence, feeling like you could do it. So that's interesting. That's
Yeah,
pretty.
yeah.
It's inspiring, definitely inspiring for a lot of us out here.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I think I think we just have to understand that in every human has the potential. Everyone can do things. You don't have to. And the biggest thing I also learned is one more thing, if I can add on, it is there's never a perfect time for anything. Life change. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So there's really no point in saying I'm going to do this thing in 10 years or 20 years. Like when opportunity arises, you just have to take it. Yeah.
I man, I love that energy. I love that energy. So when it came to so you mentioned that a little bit about how you had to go from the mindset of like a structured kind of path to an unstructured one, and I'm sure you had to deal with a lot of like risk taking and uncertainty, not sure whether okay I'm doing this, I put in all this work, but I don't know if it's gonna work out. How do you deal with that? Like where you're putting in money investment into this thing and you need something to come back.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
How do
There's a
you
lot
deal
of
with
that.
that?
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that. And I don't think there's really anything specific to do about that. Just have to know that some things are worth taking a risk on. And, if you never take a risk, you don't gain anything. Like if you can imagine everything in life that you took a risk on, there's something that you gain out of it. But if you never really do, if it's too comfortable, I at least personally I feel that if something's too comfortable, then it's not going to work out for me long term. I feel yeah, you need to be a little bit uncomfortable in the situations you're in.
So do you feel like this entrepreneurial path you've taken, like you've dealt with a lot of like difficult kind of moments? Would you
Mm.
say that you appreciate it? Do you think it's something that is it something you regret?
And yeah, I think it's something actually I totally, if I had the opportunity, I would do it again. I would do it the exact same way because I did a lot of mistakes with the company. We did a lot of mistakes. we maybe have went we might have been too fast on some things, too slow on other things, missed opportunities. There's a lot of things that we did wrong, and but if you never do anything wrong, you never learn from it. So every mistake we've done, we learn from that mistake, and we it's just something that we had the mindset of next time we know how we're going to solve this problem. Mm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
Mm.
you're just putting out fires, solving problems. I mean, I think that's a skill that is transferable in any
Mm.
industry. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In any industry, it's always going to be a lot of things that you didn't plan for. Like as you're saying, putting out fires all the time. There's 90% of what I do here, and it's something comes up and you have to solve it. And that you have to have the mindset that you're capable of solving these things. But if you think, no, there's too many things going on, it can be tough. At least, yeah.
would you say, I don't know, would you feel like a sense of adventure maybe,
All right,
where,
but
or
first
like
you'll have to
where
unlock your
you're
device.
Yeah, I think Siri here is listening in on us. Mm.
you say taking in
Yeah,
taking in the gems,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what was I saying?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We were discussing risk something, I think, before this got
oh
involved.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes,
Mm.
yes. So in terms of like, do you feel like there's a sense of adventure, where in a sense, so it's like, hey, you go through difficult moments, but like,
Mm.
hey,
And yeah, totally. I think of it as an adventure. I think of it as, and I like this thing. I'm not the kind of person that actually thrives in repetitive tasking or repetitive environment. I can't sit still doing the same thing over and over, week in, week out. So I like to always be working on different things. Like whenever I come into the office, I never know what's gonna happen this morning. Like that's the kind of environment I like. Yeah.
nah, that's
Mm.
it sounds like a good time, but also a difficult time.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. But after hard times, there's always going to be good time that comes after it. Yeah.
absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. So I think we highlighted as well how you started in university at a young age, early 20s. Do you feel like starting at a young age? Do you feel like there's an advantage to it, to an extent, or do you think it's a bad point? What do you think?
No, I think I'd 100% I think of it as an advantage because and I would rather start making mistakes. As I told you, there's a lot of mistakes that are going to be done. So I would rather start making those mistakes early and solve them, and keep growing from those mistakes when I'm young, rather than when you're older. There might be more risks involved. Like the family and a lot of those things. So personally, I think it's much better to just there's nothing to lose. You go do this thing. It might work, it might not work. You never know, but at least you're going to learn something from it. So if you start later on, and or if you start earlier, I would say equally there's a equal chance that you're still going to keep making mistakes. So just start early on. Yeah.
Hey, that's.
Mm,
I mean, it's gonna be inspiring for a lot of people, man. I see a
mm,
lot of this energy as well. I don't know if it's because of AI or I don't know what it is, but it's just I just see a lot of people start founding companies, starting companies.
mm.
Um, I think also we don't know what the landscape is going to look like in the future. So I don't know. What do you think, man? Do you think it's a good time to take risks right now? To I don't know, start some kind of business with these new technologies coming up.
Yeah, I think if you're thinking about it really depends. I only know more about tech. So if you're thinking about tech, there's a lot of new tools, there's a lot of support, and personally, I would much rather people start tech business now than 10 years ago, because we didn't have the support back then. Because right now you have, everyone knows about ChatGPT. There's Perplexity. There's AI agents out there that can help you with a lot of tasks. So we have this opportunity now that things that you would have to hire people for back in the days, you can do it yourselves now. Like if you're needing help with marketing, you can just go into ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT help me come up with a marketing campaign. and before you had to hire a marketing expert for that. And if you were a small company, and you wouldn't be able to afford this kind of support, you know. And it's the same thing. Like, there's a lot of things now that you can, even if you're building apps right now, there might be some tools out there that can make it 10 times cheaper than doing it 10 years ago. You know, it just gets easier and easier to do tech now. We have the support, we have the research, you know, you have like more support in 2025 at least, yeah. And it's going
Absolutely.
to get easier as well, yeah.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Especially, I think a lot of young people, a lot of people are dabbling in these technologies.
Hmm.
They're like we're like the guinea pigs essentially. A lot of us starting off, so it could be a big advantage since we're gonna have the most experience in this with these technologies. You know,
Hmm.
so
True.
definitely, I think definitely we could definitely take that to our advantage.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's 100% true. You know, like now, students are using AI from like a much younger age, you know, and the older generation might be struggling with these things. But if you can imagine, within 10 years, the younger population will be much more efficient with AI. You know, there's going to be AI agents, you know, there's going to be too many things that can help out that the other generations, they may not have the knowledge of, basically. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, let's say you got somebody who's studying in a university or something, studying computer science, and entrepreneurship is something that they're interested in, but they're not sure how to start, where to go. Like, what would you advise them? I know you kind of met your co-founder and stuff like that, but what would you say? How should they approach it? Would you say networking is a good way to go?
I would say networking is a good way to go. And if it's someone that's already in tech, you know, studying tech, there's a very high chance that you're going to meet someone that might be your co-founder in your class, sitting next to you, you know. And even if that's not the case, you know, most universities in Sweden, they have and entrepreneurship groups. They have the some kind that can help you with your business ideas. Like, they have seminars, you know, you can take lectures on specific courses that you might have interest in. And so there's a lot of support out there, you know, that people usually don't know. I didn't know this back then either. There's even every city in Sweden, for example, they have a business center that helps out with mentoring. They will help you with finding new ideas, even developing your current ideas and those kind of things. Yeah, there's a lot of help if someone's actually looking for it. It's possible to find. Yeah,
Yeah. So, any inspiring tech entrepreneur, man,
yeah.
there's opportunities out there for
There's
sure.
opportunities. There's opportunities. Yeah, absolutely.
So you've experienced starting a business in this new age of LLMs and AI agents or whatnot. Um, what would you say? What would you tell a young person who wants to start a business, or someone maybe even older that's maybe wanted to start as well? What would you say, like, the advantages that they have right now, the opportunities that are there?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of opportunities now. There's a lot of AI coming out. You know, it's like the AI race is going wild now. You know, we have DeepSeek coming out, shaking the market. We have OpenAI that's struggling with different things. And I think even in the future, I think it's just going to keep up. You know, there's going to be more and more AI. And with that, there comes a lot of opportunities because AI is there to, you know, simplify our work for us. So there's a lot of things that you might have found that might be too much repetitive, and they're taking too much of your time, that you can now like use AI for. You know, for example, finding a bug in a long code might have taken you an hour before, but now it can take you 2 seconds. You know, there's a bigger difference. So it's saving time. And there's a lot of tools as well that's coming out that's making it much easier and easier to use AI to build new things and new technology. So the young entrepreneurs, I think you will have a lot of opportunities now. And You can start. I would recommend that you already start building some type of AI agents to make your work easier for you. So because in the future, the companies, if they're hiring someone, even they will ask you how many AI agents you're going to bring with you. Like what kind of what kind of AI do you have? They don't want to just hire someone that can program anything. I think the market is shifting to that direction now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you give us one thing specific, yeah, that your Rexit where LLM or customized GPT or something that
Mhm.
helped you guys with being more efficient or productive?
Yeah, I think we have for the entire Brexit, everyone working on the company, they're using we use a lot of perplexity. We have a space there, and we program it into knowledge of the structure of our company. So we teach it about our methods for sales, for example, our methods for marketing, and these tools are basically there to help you out in the future. So when a new person comes into the company, they can just ask, how can I make a marketing post today? And the AI will already know the answer to that one. And this saves a lot of time, this saves a lot of things. So both on sales and marketing, we use a lot of AI, and this AI already has the knowledge. Yeah.
Okay, so
Mm.
if you're somebody starting out, you don't have to think of everything yourself essentially.
Exactly. Even if you have a question, like if you want to know where can I grab a coffee, in the office, you can ask the AI, and the AI can tell you. You can grab it from there, and you can ask where can I find, something, and it already knows the answer. We don't, of course, we don't go that technical and that deep, but that's just an example for when the onboarding becomes much easier, for everyone. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Mm.
absolutely. Okay, so what do you think like in the future with Brexit? How with the direction that LLMs are going in, the direction that all these AI agents are going in, how do you think that someone that's a start a business with a Brexit or someone else with a start business, what's the best way to position yourself to take the most advantage out of these things?
Mm. And okay, so you mean using AI? What's the best way to what?
Like, where
Yeah.
should someone position it? Should they be somebody who plays around with these LLMs every day,
Mm.
or
Mhm.
somebody who every new if Grok 3 comes out, I need to
Mm.
be the first one to use it. If another new kind of innovative project comes out with using
Yeah.
AI, should I
Yeah.
should I try to be the first person to use it?
Yeah, I think 100%, because that's basically if your competitor is using AI to the fullest advantage and you're not using it, you're never going to stand a chance. They will be executing everything much, much quicker than you are, you know.
Exactly.
That's why we have a lot of clients, even that the clients we have today, they also looking for the best ways to implement AI in their products. I think every new product that's going to come out in 2025 will have some sort of AI involved. Whether it's just with helping with writing, whether it's with like everyone's going to have AI now. So if you're not using it, your competitor, they're sure going to be using it. Yeah.
I understand at Rixit you guys do recruitment too, right?
And yeah, so we don't do recruitment exactly, but we have some clients that we help them with finding consultants. So this is more for senior. Like we have a couple of companies that work with. They're looking for seniors, for example, C++ developer, and we tap into our network to find someone that can fit that role. And but it's consultants, so that means it's a short-term work rather than employment. So we're not an employment agency. Yeah.
Right. So I've seen with a lot of people they're talking about how AI has changed recruitment. So
Hmm.
have you seen anything like where I don't know, maybe you're getting like some kind of bot AI bot that's sending spamming you with applications or something like that?
And I think it's not exactly like that, but we get a lot of CVs written by ChatGPT, for example, and you can
Okay.
see. that the way it's written, and there's some you can quite quickly understand who wrote it. And if not for that, and I don't think it's directly the AI is coming from the people who are looking for jobs. Rather, it's from the companies that are looking for people. They now don't use now they're using actually a lot of AI tools to find the perfect person for them. And so if it's there are tools out there. I don't want to go into too deeply into this, but there are tools that you can just go in there and just say, I'm looking for a software developer with 10 years of experience located in Gothenburg, and you can just add the specifics, and it will be going through the internet, through LinkedIn, through different marketplaces, and find the perfect person for your company. You know,
Okay.
yeah, so it's advancing, and it's just much easier now rather than before. You have to look into the CVs, you have to go through thousands of CVs. Now you have application tracking systems that will do filtering for you. They will take out the unnecessary ones. So the recruitment branch in itself, it had a lot of AI involved in the last years. Yeah.
Okay. So if
Mm.
somebody is trying to bypass these
Mm.
AI tools, what would you say? What's the best approach? Should they use ChatGPT to make their
I
CVs, their
wouldn't
resumes?
say bypassing is the best thing, because in either way you wouldn't be going through if you're not a qualified person. A qualified person doesn't need to bypass these and software tools. And but what you need to do instead is you have to do some research on the keywords for the specific job that you're looking for. So you have to understand, and if the recruiter is looking for a person with Linux background, for example, and you don't have Linux on your CV, of course you will be passed. So you have to 100%. The best thing to might be to and write the CV according to the specific job you're looking for. I think that would be the best approach. Yeah.
Okay, so
Mm.
spamming a bunch of jobs with the
It's
same
not going to
CV is
help
not the one.
because yeah, it's not going to help. The tool will just remove you from the list quite fast if you don't have and specific things exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So one last question, yeah. So it's the last
Yeah.
question for somebody who's there's a lot of fear mongering going on when it comes to AI. A lot of people are
Mm.
thinking, maybe I won't have a job. There won't be a job in what I'm the specific profession that I'm trying to go for and stuff like that. Can you give us some kind of optimistic perspective when it comes to AI for a uni grad or
Mm.
somebody who's maybe a junior or mid-level professional?
Mm. Yeah.
What, what
Yeah.
ki- what kind of optimistic perspective can you give us?
Yeah, I think, of course, as you say, there's a lot of fear mongering going on, and there's no question about that. But also, and I could also have the argument that people don't really need to worry too much if they have the technical knowledge that the jobs are requiring in these days. So I think the best way to do this thing, it might be if you're always updated on the latest technology that's coming out. If you're always and keeping up with building new projects, and your skills are not getting rusty. For example, in tech, at least I can answer this. So and if you can directly show the companies that you can provide value, if you're not just going to be and just another programmer that just came graduated from university, but you didn't put the time in to improve your skills. The companies are now there's a much bigger competition, so they will just go with someone else who also graduated university, but they also kept updating on the skills. So that might be the best approach for this. But I think the market will shift again. There's going to be more opportunities coming out in the future, and as soon as this AI and when AI keeps coming out, people are going to gradually starting to use these things, and the companies will, of course, see the value, Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. It's not easy coming on to do interviews, do content, put your face out there, So we definitely
Yeah.
appreciate your time and and the energy and all the gems and knowledge that you gave us. So
Yes.
yeah,
Thank you,
that's
Anuj.
so we're gonna wrap up the podcast there. if anyone is interested in being part of a movement where we want to create opportunities for young people in vulnerable areas, by having tech events, having hackathons, connecting people with people who are already established in the industry, do get in contact with us, and we can definitely work together. And yeah, that's the end.